Everyone, Dan Saavedra here from MergeYourData, and today I'm going to be going over some of these really cool new betas that HubSpot released, some that have been asked for a very long time, and that is multi-step forms and then live validation on forms. So these two are paired together. If you go to your account up here, and then you go to product updates, and then filter by in beta, you'll see multi-step forms and then CRM and live validation on forms. And if you join multi-step forms, it'll put you in this one as well. And so HubSpot provides pretty good overview here of the multi-step forms. And we're going to actually dive in and build this together just to show the feature. And then we'll also talk a little bit about this right here, the live validation on forms. So if you are in your portal and you go to marketing, the forms button will be right there. So you go to that page and then you can create the form and you'll see your two options here now, legacy form editor. So this is the one that you guys are used to. And then you'll see your second one, which is the new form editor. And so that's the one we're going to select here. And then you see that there are, I already clicked. I'll go back real quick so we can read this. Forms created can't be on certain pages. So we're going to go back to that because that is an important limitation. So we're going to exit and then create that form again. And then once this opens, we'll see this same bar up top. Forms created with the new editor may have limited functionality and can't be used on Content Hub pages or in CTAs. So that's a pretty big limitation. If you are using Content Hub pages, you cannot use the new form editor and multi-step forms. But if you're using it in other places, then you should be good to go here with these new types. So once again, we're back in the configurator, clicking on next here, waiting for HubSpot to load. And you'll see a little bit different interface when you go in here. First thing that's pretty noticeable is you see these step breakdowns. You got step 1, 2, and then your thank you page after the form is submitted. And so like a lot of other form builders, you can add in additional pages here. Like we know with HubSpot previously, you can drag and drop your properties on there, and a little bit different here compared to the original form builder. This is more like their newer navigation and like workflows and stuff where it's a little more layered so that you can access more options. And so with the plus button up here, you can add in these fields. If you're just collecting fields for the specific form, see here, it's not connected to a property. And then you can also just do a property itself and drop it on. So drag and drop like before. You also have the options for adding an image, heading, paragraph, recapture, that type of stuff. And so just like before as well, when you click into a property here, you can configure all of the label, placeholder text, help text, default value, and also make it a required field. And so this is where the multi-step gets really interesting because you can actually require people to fill in certain information before showing them another page and collecting more information. Before, you have to make conditional properties and layer those in to unhide once people fill in certain information and select certain drop-down values. So this gets a little bit closer to a lot of other form builders that you're familiar with. Hey guys, so quick detour here. If you are using HubSpot already and just facing some challenges with data, whether it's attribution, whether it's getting accurate pipeline analysis, and it's really just hindering your organization from moving forward, from closing more deals, from performing as expected with revenue, then I would say go book a call with someone on our team. It's usually going to be me, to be honest, to talk about these data problems in HubSpot and how we can work around them. This is what we do. This is everything that we think about in HubSpot. We don't do the lead generation. We don't do marketing. We're just data people inside of HubSpot, working with Operations Hub, working with reporting and dashboards and workflows. And that's where we can come in and help unblock your team from everything else that you're trying to get done so that you can hit your revenue targets and stop worrying about the systems and data side of things. Let's go back to the video. Now, one thing that is not very good about this, and hopefully it'll change in the future, I can see it coming in the future just because they're adding to HubSpot's functionality here with the multi-step form, and that's that you can't set conditional logic like you can with other forms. So if someone selects a certain property, you can't direct them to like step 3, for example. So if they set a certain property value to this, direct them to step 3 instead of step 2 or to step 5 or whatever your logic may be. So right now it's still linear, so you have to do step 1, 2, 3, whatever you end up setting up in terms of the different pages. But that's the only real limitation that I can see right now from just playing around with this for a little bit. I'm sure there are way more. Otherwise, there are some good new options here in terms of just the layout. So for example, if I select here, edit step, you can see that there is this right, bottom, left, 2/3 right, all these layouts here that you can toggle. You can change the background color, some pretty basic abilities to just change the formatting that HubSpot had before in certain ways, but it's still a little bit limited. You're better off using custom code when you're embedding if you do need to do anything really, really fancy. But for most people, it's going to be fine just to use these layouts that they provide. So you have that. And then on top of that, you have your form styling here that you probably are familiar with if you've been editing things in some of the page builders in HubSpot. You'll see a lot of these same menu options here. And then you also have this layout view. So this is a little bit useful just because I don't think in the original you had the capability here to see the different layers and to be able to select them like that. You still can't drag and drop, which is annoying. Like I can't just take this and move it up or down. So it's really just for navigation and then for adding on additional things. So that part's useful. The on submit portion I thought was pretty interesting because it looks like they'll add in the ability to, let me see, actually I might be able to do it now. If we do, it's just images. So you can customize it a little bit, but if you're gonna embed any like videos or something like that, you'll still have to have a separate page. Let me see, actually, I wonder if rich text probably wouldn't, no. So you don't have the ability to embed any videos or anything like that. So you still have to do a separate page, but then you still have the automation options that existed before. So overall, pretty good improvement in terms of being able to do the multi-step forms. That's a big limitation before. All other settings seem to be relatively similar. And then the last thing that was interesting was the live validation. And so basically what HubSpot is allowing here, and it's probably better just to go back to the page of the update, is just for custom text and number properties, you'll get this live validation. So we'll see if they expand this to something else later on. But basically, as people are filling things out, HubSpot didn't have the capability previously to tell them that there was an error in the format. So now you will get that in all of your forms. You can turn it off, but it's enabled automatically. So those are 2 big new updates with forms. Hopefully this quick walkthrough showed you a little bit. Obviously just go in there, activate it yourself and play with it. It shows where HubSpot's going in the future. And I would strongly encourage you, it shows where HubSpot is going in the future. The platform keeps getting better and better and better. So you can expect more and more to come. So you're not having to use all these different tools connected to HubSpot. Instead, you'll have everything just built right into the platform. So I'm Dan Saavedra from MergeYourData. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.